Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Loose Change. It's your boy, The Show Off, and I'm back with another video. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about the third trigger word, y'all. This is Trigger Words, Volume 3. And that word is child support. Now, this triggers people on both sides, all right? Men and women, all right? And from a man's perspective, the reason why it triggers men is because a lot of times, even to good dope fathers, it's utilized as a weapon that threatens his freedom. Okay? And from what I can tell on the surface, for women, it's actually utilized. I mean, it's on the surface, women feel like they shouldn't have to do to go to those extremes or whatever the case may be. In my personal opinion, I think a lot of women actually push themselves to have to go to those limits, but that's my personal opinion. All right. Now, it evokes so much emotion. I have a post that I just put up early this morning. It says, and a woman actually posted this. One of my friends actually posted this, and I saw it and I shared it. It was actually a dude that actually did the initial post, and it said, "Hey, if you need child support in order to pay your bills, you should not have custody." All right, so of course the first three, I only got 4 comments so far. The first 3 are you felt fire coming from him, to say the least. All right, there was a bit of anger, which made me decide to do another trigger words video. And the last one was kind of subdued, very calm. The last one I've gotten up until this point. All right. So let me take a minute to talk about this, because I will be posting this actual YouTube video on the actual post. All right. The reason why men are triggered by it is because there are a lot of women out here who actually extort men, which is illegal, by the way, that actually extort men, saying basically, you're going to do this, or I'm going to put you on child support. It is a threat. If I don't do something financially for you, that is extortion. All right? You're going to do exactly as I tell you, when I tell you, and I'm going to put you on child support. All right? Now, women are triggered by, seem to be triggered, and I'm saying seem to be triggered because there's a whole different thing. Now, on the surface, it looks like, they feel like they shouldn't have to do this. They shouldn't. The thing about it is, when the reason that relationships break up is because you don't live alike. There's disagreements, all right? So disagreements don't stop happening after you have children. That's why you should be very careful who you have children with, all right? And I'm not saying that to talk down to you, because I have two baby mamas that I'm no longer with, okay? Now, with that being said, to me, deep down, I think women understand the logistics of, I think that's why they get so angry, because they understand the logistics of what they're actually doing. Yet it doesn't stop them from doing it. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's put it this way. There are a lot of men out here who don't deserve to be put on child support. There are a lot of men who are on child support because of her ego. Simple as that. I've been seeing a post going around saying child support, and a lot of women are posting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the time I've seen it, women are posting it. And it says child support is for the absent father, not the failed relationship, which is absolutely correct. You know what I'm saying? If you don't be stupid and act like you want and you need something the day before he needs it. Be proactive and allow this man the courtesy of being able to get ready for whatever it is that the child needs, or whatever the case may be. If you have to wait till a payday or whatever, maybe 2 weeks in advance. Give this person ample opportunity to come through. And don't threaten them with child support every time shit don't go your way. Now, if a person is clearly not doing anything for a long period of time, and this person is going to work every day or whatever the case may be, then you might want to think about going to the system or whatnot. But if you know anything about my videos, you know that I feel like this is a big reason why our relationships our relationships end. Is because we don't fight for our relationships, because there's things in place like this. Therefore, the family structure within the black community is damaged because we don't fight for our relationships. Therefore, we don't fight for family structure. All right? Now, getting into the post. For those of you who are on my Facebook, getting into this very post. Ladies, there's a difference between child support and alimony. Alimony is to keep up your lifestyle. That's what that is. Child support isn't made for a man to keep up a woman's lifestyle. So when you talk about talking about this, what he's saying is, if you need his money in order for, and I understand what he's saying. If you need his money in order to sustain your bills, or even worse, if you go add bills because he has to pay a certain amount of child support. Like, okay, well, for instance, okay, well, I know that he has to pay me $350 a month, so I'm gonna go get a $290 car payment, and I'm already barely skimming by. That's not cool, because the money is intended for his child. So the difference between alimony and the difference between child support is, one is intended for the child. Now, ladies, it's hard for me to believe as a man that if the child was living with the father, that your light bill and your water bill would make that much of a difference. Okay. A lot of times it almost insinuates that the child is walking through just flipping the lights on and off, or whatever the case may be. It's hard for me to believe that you can talk about things like toiletries and stuff like that, and what you put into your household, because you're not walking. If our sons and daughters were living with us, you're not walking into a house without tissue and toothbrushes or whatever the case may be, napkins and shit like that. It's hard for us to believe that. And the other thing is, we shouldn't have to pay for the fact that you don't know how to cook. Let's keep it clear. Like, bringing up the fact that you have to eat out all the time because you can't cook, nah, that shouldn't go. Okay. So all of these things, y'all, understand what this guy is saying before you fucking attack it. Because here's the thing. If you're not making enough money to take care of your kids, you're unfit. It is what it is. And that's what this guy is essentially saying. If you're not making enough money to sustain your bills, therefore his money can be allocated towards his child the way that it's supposed to be allocated towards his child, for clothes, shoes, hit their toiletries, food, so on and so forth. If you not holding down your part, why should you pay bills in the house that you live in? Why people don't understand that when we have this conversation. You're only supposed to pay bills in the house that you lay in every night. And at some point, y'all came to the conclusion that he wasn't going to lay in that house anymore. So now he has to have somewhere to lay his head. All right? His money is not meant to pay bills in your house. And that's what this guy is saying. So for those of you who are getting mad when you see child support and not even paying attention to the context of what he's used, if he was to die, you would struggle. If he was to die and you no longer had that child support coming in, you would struggle. And either you would have to downsize your life in order to make ends meet, or you would probably face losing your kids. Or you would have to go out and compromise yourself and have people help you go out and probably get the worst type of fucking man who was willing to pay your bills or whatever the case may be. And you would find yourself needing someone else and having bad influences around your children. So let's be clear about this. Like, Lord, y'all, it's not that deep. It's just a conversation. It's just like, this is why it's hard to have a conversation when a man is actually willing to have a conversation. It's very hard to have because look at the animus that you have just from a question being asked or a discussion question. I'm out. Show off.